Frank Skinner. Absolute Radio.
Oh, just starting the show with a nice cup of tea. This is Frank Skinner, and this is the Not the Weekend podcast. And I'm here with Emily Dean and Laura Solon.
One boy,
loving it.
Two little girls.
A little bit creepy, that song, to use my new fave word.
Yes. It's from the Elvis Presley film Kissing Cousins.
Again, a little bit creepy.
Yeah, when he plays not only himself, but his cousin.
Does he kiss himself?
He fights himself.
Oh.
Is his character called Rick? I'm assuming so.
Oh, what are his characters?
He's always called Rick.
One might be Toby.
Toby doesn't sound like a very...
Maybe I've made that up.
This film name.
I can't. They're sort of hillbillies.
Yeah.
But there's a fight. He's blonde. One cousin is very blonde, and the other one is like that jet black, blue-black that Elvis went for. And there's a fight scene where you very, very clearly see the face of the stunt double. I mean, they've just gone, oh, well, we'll stop with it now.
Better or worse than Double Impact?
I don't know if I've seen Double Impact.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
What about Bulletproof Monk?
Just going to say, Police Academy 4. We're just going to say.
Look, I can't handle this. This is like playing singles against a doubles team at tennis.
Two little girls.
Yeah,
Two
exactly.
little girls.
But no, it is. I'd say it's amongst the worst of the Elvis films. Probably Kissing Cousins, but I have a soft
It's
spot
not a great
for it.
title.
No, I like it. I like alliteration in any film title. I went to see Tintin, speaking of which.
Did you?
Did you enjoy it?
I went... many of you probably think I lead an extravagant showbiz life. I went on my own on a Friday night to see Tintin. I did. It's a visual extravaganza.
Feast. Is it a visual feast?
Speaking of feasts, I had the medium-sized popcorn, which is a big box. Do you know I finished it before the film started?
Did you? There wasn't a Geldofian hairy hand inside it, that's right.
Except my own.
At Victoria Station today, there was a big picture of Tintin, poster for Tintin, which had all the amazing reviews and stars all over the poster. Then there was a poster next to it for a film called The Awakening, and the two endorsements on it was a quote by Edith Bowman and another quote from Easy Living magazine.
What did Easy Living have to say? Not bad.
It was a really good quote about it being compelling mystery, and it's called The Awakening, and the tagline, which I don't think is really, they haven't really got the A team on it. The tagline was, "Sometimes dead does not mean gone."
Well, that's true.
But that's not. It's not.
And who's that a quote from the Oxford English
No,
Dictionary?
that's their strap line. That's their strap line.
Roget's thesaurus.
Sometimes it can mean in an ironic
Susie
sense.
Dent.
Yeah, it can. It can mean all sorts of things. Sometimes I get a dead leg, but it's not. It hasn't gone.
Doesn't mean gone.
I suppose there is a sense of absence about it that you can't quite feel it, and also a sense of abscess. And
Well, if you're Henry VIII,
a hint of absinthe. Anyway, enough of that. This is Absolute Radio, and what happens? What are we going to talk about?
Well, I'll tell you what we're going to talk about. I'm a bit worried about you.
I know what you're going to say.
Because you have a policy, Frank.
Yes.
What is that policy?
I never read my reviews,
But
ever.
you've started.
Have you stuck to that this week?
Well, what happened was in the... what is it? It's 10 days ago now, I suppose. I got the Sunday Times, and I did a documentary about George Formby. I can plug it now. It's gone. And it was covered by A.A. Gill. Are you aware of A.A. Gill?
Yes.
He's a bloke who
He's
writes for the Sun.
Serbic television and food critic.
Oh, he's a Serbic. He is a Serbic.
A Serbic Adrian. That's what it stands for.
Is that what it stands for?
No.
I'd love the fact that he uses the initials AA instead of his... I think he is Adrian, isn't he?
He's Adrian. He's also AA as well, but that's another story. He's out about that.
Yeah, but like he's trying to be like T.S. Eliot or something, whereas in fact he brings out books like Breakfast at the whatever it's called, which is pictures of bacon with some writing next to it, like a children's book.
I'm sensing
Anyway,
this wasn't a good review.
No, I don't want to get into I don't want to get into bitter. It was a very, very short review, and he said, I'll do it. I can't remember it word for word, but probably pretty close. It said something like, I'll do anything, I'll suffer anything for my dear readers, But when the DVD dropped through the letterbox that said Frank Skinner on George Formby, he said that was too much for me. One or the other, but not both at the same time.
So he didn't even watch it?
Well, there was quite a strong sense in the comment that he didn't know George Formby was dead.
Oh.
Which I'm glad he didn't watch it, because I don't break it very gently. I do. I mean, I just come out, I blurt it out.
How dare he say that?
Well, that's what he does, isn't it? It doesn't really count.
To be controversial.
No, if he's not, I'm sorry, I don't agree, and I'm not saying this out of blind loyalty. I think
What kind of loyalty are you saying out of? Partially cited?
No.
Okay.
Boss loyalty.
Oh, fair enough.
No, what I would say is that's dereliction of duty. If he'd have had a comment on it, Frank, and said, I didn't like it.
Isn't it better that he didn't, though? Because he doesn't...
He might have liked it.
He might have liked it, but he wouldn't have said so. He wouldn't have let on.
He nearly watched it.
I bet he likes a lot of stuff that he slags on.
He has to take the opposite path to what everyone else is.
I've seen him a couple of times at various showbiz do's. Obviously, I've never approached him. You wouldn't. But he has got a shiny face. I mean, he's got one of the shiniest...
Do you think he's had work?
No, I don't think he has. I think it's a bit like there isn't quite enough fat between the skin and the bone.
Oh.
But he's very... I thought at first he was moist. But I think he might...
He's iridescent.
I think he's... Well, it's a shininess that's kind of... if he was trying to fight aging by using lamination... I think he's been laminated against weather. He'd make a... He's got like a bullish head, but a very... He really needs a good powder.
I imagine him in a smoking jacket for some reason.
I'd like to see him in a smoking jacket. I mean, preferably on fire. No, but he... to be honest, I don't have any bad feelings against him, to be honest, because I don't think his reviews are quite... I don't think he means it. He's trapped now. It's like when Oliver Hardy once said, I can't lose weight now because I'm the fat comedian. Hey, girl, can't start writing nice stuff.
That's not why people read him.
No. He was once very nice about Joe Brand, and I thought, I bet she's mortified to read this. You go, no.
Is it a bit like when Bruce Forsyth says, you're my favourite?
It is a bit like that, yeah. But he has, I don't mind him and his big shiny head. He'd make a great Pez dispenser stroke torch. If you got his head on top, he's trying to get your key in the lock. Yeah, lovely reading light he'd make. I imagine he doesn't need a reading light in bed.
Just holds it.
He gives Clarkson good reviews often, because I think they're friends.
They've both got very, very enormous faces. And I think that... he also like Bo Selector. Yeah. So, they stick together, the big-faced people, generally speaking.
Well, Frank, I've had a bad review as well, recently.
Birds of a big face, stick together, that's what I say. He also likes the orangutans, whose faces are so big they overlap their heads in a sort of a mushroom kind of way. I love that.
I love choosing your friends on the basis of their heads.
Favourite film ever, Every Which Way But Loose. I hate it. Favourite band, the U2 that used to be on TFI Friday. Favourite historical character, the Elephant Man. He loves all the big faces. Anyway.
Oh dear.
Sorry, you were saying?
Well, I've had a bad review myself. It didn't appear in a newspaper. It was from a manicurist.
Okay. How big was her face?
You can still put it on your Edinburgh poster, though, I think.
It's quite a developed world problem. I've had a bad review from my manicurist. But nevertheless, I didn't like what she had to say. I'm calling it an aesthetic review, actually, guys. I wish she wasn't my regular.
Is there a magazine called The Aesthetic Review?
There is now. there should be.
Yeah, carry on.
It wasn't my regular. I had my nails done in a lovely shade. It was just an absolute radio shade.
Can I ask, were you at a nail bar?
Yes, I was.
Oh.
I was at a nail bar. No names mentioned. But the polish was called... It was a lovely purple shade. It's called... I think it's called Sexy Divide. It's called.
Oh, I don't like purple Sexy Divide.
Sexy Divide. It almost... that sort of knocks me more on, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't like... It's like something from Mills and Boon. He looked across at her purple Sexy Divide. Oh, no. Hold on a minute. Hold on. I'll be all right in a minute.
Unsay that.
I'm fine. I just got a bit hot.
A.A. Gill can't even listen if those two words are together.
No, I'm betting.
So I stopped by to get that, and she did what, you know, have you had manicures, Laura? Are you a manicure fan?
I know I've only had 3 in my life, and I just don't like the small talk that comes with haircuts or manicure. I don't enjoy those.
You've got an elegant
situations.
hand. A lot of skinny people do have elegant hands.
Does that mean you don't have haircuts?
I do have haircuts, but but I don't go regularly as you're supposed to do, because I just don't like that enforced, horrible talking thing.
Yeah, talking. It's annoying. Isn't
Yeah.
The dynamic.
Is it all right
Yeah.
to call Laura skinny?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's all right to call anyone, yeah.
Fair enough.
That's a compliment from me, Laura. I hope you know that.
Thank you. I'm not going to then go online and make it into a big deal.
No.
Nothing bad about
That team is skinny.
So anyway, so she inspected my nails it's a bit like an army inspection. They always do that. It's kind of standard procedure, just to see what condition they're in. And I'm afraid I was found wanting.
I imagine your nails.
Did she
are
touch?
No,
Did she
they'd
touch?
gone a bit, and they'd gone a bit Courtney Love. And she said, she had an accent. It's unspecified, but
yeah.
I will do it, yeah.
Right.
She said, I'm not sure where she was from. It was a bit Nancy Delolio. It was, your nails are terrible condition. Can you imagine my face, Frank?
Can I just stop there for a Nancy Delolio moment? I saw Nancy Delolio interviewed on This Morning.
And then DLM.
Yeah, on This Morning, and she was being interviewed about her appearance on Strictly Come Dancing, and about how Craig Revel Horwood had said some terrible things about her, and the interviewer said he was very unkind to us. He said, yes, it was unnecessary what he said, and he said, well, he did. To be fair, he did say you were very sexy. She said, yes, but everybody knows that. But he said, oh, good. I loved her for that. Completely unquestioning and unironic.
I can't fathom her. I can't place her in any logical context.
Well, you need to place her in the Italian legal system, obviously.
She's a lawyer.
She is a lawyer.
She said, when she met a friend of mine, she said, I lawyer. She did.
Good.
Meanwhile, back at the manicurists,
Yes.
so she said, your nails terrible condition. How you let them get in this state?
Oh, dear.
In this state?
Oh.
Can you imagine? Well, I won't be spoken
Did
to.
you
Did
tell
you tip her?
I'd have claimed I'd been buried alive.
By Vicky Bly.
I won't have a word against Vicky Bly. She's one of the
I
nicest
said-
people I've ever met.
No, but she said she wouldn't be happy until
No.
she saw you in a grave.
I made that up.
Oh, next she'll be saying I made up Eloise being creepy.
Oh, don't go back to that.
So, I said...
It's like being... honestly, I feel like Simon Fuller managing the Spice Girls.
Bag's not scary. I said, I'm very busy, actually. I thought that was a good response.
Would that give you
riposte.
bad nails?
Doing manual labour.
I use my hands a lot.
Okay.
So, I type. She said she wouldn't let it lie. She said you wouldn't get a face in that state, or the hair. Wouldn't let that get in that state.
Oh, dear, she
Honestly.
was
Do you think that's a
belligerent.
compliment? Do you think it's a compliment that about your hair and face being lovely, and so it's the contrast?
Well, that's a lovely way of looking at
Positive
it, Laura. And
way
I
of
wish you'd been
looking at
doing my
it.
nails that day.
Yeah, but Laura doesn't like the chit-chat. You don't get your nails done mute.
No, I like an Asperger's nail technician. From now on, I'm going to be requesting that. Not that I'm suggesting you.
You just called me an Asperger's nail technician. That is worse than creepy.
Yeah.
So she
It
then
is.
said, well then, this was the killer, Frank. Are you married? I thought, oh, okay. I said,
dear,
no.
what was under your nail? Blimey.
I said, no. She said, most girls like to have nice finger for ring.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Jermaine Greer. I called her after that. Yeah, I really didn't like it. I said, do
What?
they? I said, do they now?
Do
I didn't.
they?
Well, I didn't think. I
Do
didn't,
they now? It's a fabulous
Do
thing
they
to
now?
say. Oh.
Oh, really?
It's that
they?
it's the pause between the oh and the do they. Oh. Do they?
now?
The rest of the manicure, silence.
Icy silence. Did you just eyeball her? Just stare
Oh,
at her?
very much so. She got one of my stares.
What did she mean by keep the finger?
Well, what she was suggesting was that because I was married, I wasn't married, I'm sorry, that was why I'd let my nails get into such a terrible state. If I was married, I'd want a nice finger for ring.
You see,
Or you've got married, your husband's making you fatter, it doesn't matter anymore. the ring is cutting off the blood to your engorged fingers.
Well, I'd have thought that marriage is normally, I'm
When
not
you
saying
give
this
up.
right, but it's associated with letting yourself go.
Yeah.
Not
Well,
according to this nail technician.
Okay.
you see, yeah.
Anyway, so
That is, well, I was in the chair recently, a makeup chair.
oh yeah,
And in the chair next to me was, Gabby Logan came into the makeup room.
oh yeah.
And she said, I don't think of you with grey hair.
She didn't.
I
Oh,
thought,
dear.
well, there's so many things here. First of all, Gabby Logan thinks of me.
Yeah.
She
Which is
thinks
a
of me.
positive thing.
She thinks of me retrospectively.
Yeah.
I like the idea that ageing as an element of surprise. Though. People go, "Whoa! Oh, I didn't see that coming."
But she thinks of you fondly.
Well, she thinks of me in the 90s,
Yeah.
as so many people do. To be honest, I think she still sees me very much as king of the new lads.
You see, yeah, I'm not. I don't like that. I think that's inappropriately personal. I really do.
I think
I'm
personal
sorry.
comments in general.
I
you
don't
can't-
think
you can't make.
A girl looked at me the other day and went, "Your feet are so small," and then laughed for 20
that's that
minutes.
breezy laugh.
Yeah, that's
a mean laugh.
It's rude.
That's tough.
Yeah.
It's like people say you look tired.
Did
No,
you
I'm
tell
getting
her?
old,
Did you tell her
basically.
you had 25 years of geisha binding when you were growing
Wild
up?
Swans is your autobiography.
Oh, dear. I
yeah.
followed Emily across a snowy landscape, and I thought someone had just pogoed.
I had the reverse of someone actively giving me an aesthetic review when I went for a casting for a role that said she's attractive but in an achievable way. and then continued to qualify this by saying, you know, she's the kind of woman that any housewife would be happy leaving their husband with.
Oh, that's a bit different, isn't it?
Any housewife. Attractive in an achievable way.
They were frantically writing this as you walked in the room.
Achievably attractive.
Oh, Laura.
Well,
I thought I was a little disheartened by it.
I
I didn't get the part. I'll just add.
Well,
I was
too good looking?
yeah.
Is that the theory?
That was obviously what was
Yeah,
wrong.
well. Yeah,
They probably went
makes
too
you wrong.
achievable. We can't go down that route. But achievably attractive. That's what I don't want that as a sort of on my poster.
Well, I think that makes you an inspirational figure. Doesn't it? People think, yeah,
Why am I achievable?
I could look like that.
Yeah. But also the sense of men being able to achieve, like the idea of, oh yeah, she's my fifth choice. I'm just going to go around the room, see who else I can get.
Well, no, don't take it to heart. I think the thing about being trust the husband, I don't know. I think a lot of women wouldn't trust their husband with some terrible gargoyle figure, would they?
Any housewife.
Anyhow, that's not true.
I've seen a cross-section of housewives.
Have you? Is that a new programme? Spin-off of Desperate Housewives?
Cross-section.
Cross-section of Housewives.
TS section.
Starts
It's a
after the
different-
news.
It's a different one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's done by that German surgeon
Yeah,
bloke with the
yeah.
hat.
Oh, yes, Gunther.
Is that what he's called? Oh, whatever happened to him. Did you, speaking of women, all my suspicions were confirmed this week
Oh, dear.
when it said that there was a thing in the paper that said that women hate cuddles.
Yes. 1 in 3 women.
To be honest,
Hates-
he's very horrible about Orville. I don't like him either. In fact, I think he's gone so far as to say that he hates that dog. I mean, even that, not even choosing to use his name, even though they're in the
It's
same.
aggressive.
They're in the same work stable.
Saying that woman.
Yeah, exactly. That's he knows his name well enough.
Yeah.
He's deliberately
They've lived in the same cupboard. all their
in the
lives.
same suitcase. What? He doesn't know his name. That's Coddles being deliberately aloof, and he has that. He has that about him. Isn't he an orangutan? No, I think he's.
No, I'm not sure, actually. Chimpanzee,
I'm
orangutan?
trying to find
chimpanzee.
out. I bet he got a rave. Him and Orville, very big faces. AA Gill gave them 5 stars. Because they did Waiting for Godot. I don't know if you saw that. Coddles and Orville.
Did they?
It was a bleak production in so many ways. I've never seen it end with a song before. But
Yeah,
yes,
apparently women say it makes them hot and uncomfortable. And that's why they don't like it. Are you a cuddler, Frank? And where does Kath stand on cuddling?
I'd like to be more. I mean, this was a bed company, wasn't it, that did the things? I can't get anywhere near her.
dear.
There isn't a bigger mattress on the marquee, and she sleeps at the very far extremity
Does
of it.
she?
And she marks the territory with trainer socks.
Oh.
So there's about 3 trainer socks down the middle of the bed.
A sexy device.
Yeah, well, not that sexy. Yeah, a sort of grobby divide.
It's a sort of sporty device.
Yeah, but so it's
barrier.
don't go past the trailer socks. She will occasionally supplement it with a hot water bottle, like a sandbag at a siege. Yeah, I wake up in the night, I reach out for her, and I eat cold rubber. No. Yeah, so she's not. I wouldn't say she was terribly. She even does the thing. If she's asleep, sometimes in the night. This sounds slightly pathetic, but I'm going to own up. If I have a bad dream or something, I just want to reassure myself that I'm not on my own.
Oh.
So I'll reach out for her and just not for a big hug, just slightly touch her elbow or something. And it's like our Shep used to be. The breathing goes a bit. So I can almost hear my mum saying, "Don't touch his dish." Yeah, she really. She's not.
I'm like.
What's Mr. Laura's view on this?
I
met Mr. Laura.
I-
Charmant.
I
yeah.
very much like cuddles in bed. I do get the whole if it's too hot, but my problem is I think I feel sorry for my husband because I have incredibly cold feet. And so if I try to cuddle up to him, it's like he's hugging frozen planets.
That is, yeah.
Yeah, and so he
Oh,
gets
yeah.
quite. But he's. I like it. I like waking up and being cuddled. It's nice. I
Have you
like
not
it very
tried a
much.
bed sock?
A bed sock? I don't. I did for and then your feet get too hot. You wake up in the night too hot. But actually, I used to have problems going to sleep, and making yourself quite warm is the best way to go to sleep. So you put
Yeah.
socks on.
You see, I have a problem, guys. When there is a gentleman caller, I have a problem with cuddling because I'm quite little. I'm only 5'3" in stockinged feet, Laura. So it does mean
Even shorter when you're lying down. I
well,
would have thought.
exactly. So if the gentleman is over 6 foot, it's a bit like a monkey climbing a tree. Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
a strange sight.
I shudder
But you
to
just
think.
have to move higher
Yeah.
up.
I just want to know what branch you're standing on. Oh, no. And the best fruit's at the end of the bough, that's what they always say. That's...
So this is an email from John Edwards, and the email says, "Hello, comma. I hope that the fact that this is 400-year-old high art literature ribaldry means it is suitable.
That sounds good so far.
When you were discussing the inappropriateness of having an ironing board in the Cockerell's Hotel bathroom, Frank suggested toilet paper warmed by a recent ironing might be the ultimate luxury.
Oh, no, I remember that, yeah.
16th century French wag, Rabelais,
Ah,
has a character in his novel Gargantua recommend the back of a goose's neck.
of course, yeah.
In addition to the softness of the goose's down, the warmth of its neck is very pleasant, apparently.
Who was Rabelais married to then? I didn't know he was a wag.
Yeah, he was, I think he was Gary Lineker's first wife. Do you remember they did the Vavavoom? Oh, no, that was the Thierry. Yeah, so, yes, I remember that. It's quite a famous thing in Gargantua, the wiping of the bottom on the gooseneck. I bet it honked afterwards.
Modern equivalent is Charmin. What's it called?
Oh, yeah.
The luxury soft quilted toilet paper.
Oh, I
toilet
don't know if I've
tissue.
seen that. It's
Yeah,
quilted,
the
is it?
advert was a big furry bear that goes around the back of a tree.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know whether you might think
I don't like the sound of a bear going round a tree.
No, I mean, I know they do.
it was a cartoon.
I know they do it in the woods.
Yeah.
Surely as I cling on like a chimpanzee on a tree.
Yes. You don't want any clinging on images, in particular. No, yes, I'd try a goose, I think. I once tried doing it with an aromatic duck, but it was a shambles. It fell apart in my hands. It's great, though. I've always said there isn't enough Rabelais on this show.
And he's one of my favourite wags. Frank, have you heard about the luxury massage? It's not an accusation. I've heard about it this week, and apparently it's a brand new service that's being offered by this very posh resort in Hawaii.
We're talking a respectable thing.
Yeah, exactly. But when you say respectable, it costs $2,000, and here's the best bit: it requires 20 people to perform the massage. Can you imagine?
Oh, that sounds... I think I have heard of this, yeah.
20 people.
Apparently it's an amazing effect, though.
It better be for $2,000 and 20 people.
I think... I tell you where I've heard of this. Ant and Dec had it done, didn't they?
What, together? Did they share the 20?
Well, they didn't touch Ant at all. Apparently it was... all hands on deck. I'm terribly sorry, but there are certain things I just have to let them out. Yeah, I like the idea of all those hands all over me.
Do you?
Yeah, and I'm not a massage fan, I must say.
No.
First massage I ever had, I've never felt so sick in my life afterwards.
Really?
If they're you see, that's the thing, is if they're bad at it, which you don't know till they start, then you tense up, so it makes it even worse.
Well, I was lying on a table. I had a red ring around my face. I looked like I'd just taken off scuba diving gear, because I had to lie with like a hole on the table.
Yeah.
I had to lie with my face.
You can check they've got feet.
Yeah, well, I think that's so you can breathe. So I'm lying face down, which is... I don't like lying face down on a hard table. I mean, there's no give in anything. And my face is against this hole. I look like a polar bear on the frozen planet waiting for fish. And it was really uncomfortable. I really wanted to turn my head to one side, but you can't do it in the hole. Otherwise, it just looks like you're listening.
Not in the massage hole.
No.
Yeah. I don't like the massage hole. Don't make me go down the massage hole.
I don't like all those people having access all areas. Believe it or not, Frank, I'm actually reasonably selective about who gets access.
Right, well, I didn't doubt that for a second.
But I would insist I don't want 20 people. That's the law of averages suggests 1 in 20. This has got to be something dodgy.
Is it 20 people or 20 hands?
20 person.
Oh, it's 20 people.
40 hands. That's a lot of hands.
Yeah. If you're not tall, you'd have spare hands.
Are they all of the same gender? Are they all men or women? Or
are they all trained professionals? Are they just people they find on the beach?
Anyone could just pitch up there.
Yeah.
Could just turn up.
I don't want Emily doing it with her nails. Her rubbish nails all over me. I'd like I'd like the odd wart.
Do you know what I'd worry as well? Out of 20 people, the law of averages, I get very easily irritated by people. Someone's going to be breathing in a funny way, or they'll smell of hummus, or there'll be something I don't like.
Yeah, but there'll be such a squidging noise of hands, oily hands, you wouldn't be able to hear anything.
How are they going to all fit round?
Well, that's what I'm on. It must be a very long table.
I imagine they sort of hold you in the air. Are you on a table?
Well, I don't know.
I imagine if there's 40 hands on you, you don't need a table. They just suspend you.
A.A. Gill, that's standard for him, just to do his head. He needs 20.
Oh, well, exactly. He has 20 people into a fly aftershave.
With those big painter rollers. Put up those ads on big ad boards.
He gets those Amazonian businessmen in to do the shave, to do the deforestation. But I had an exfoliation. There's a place called Champneys, which you may know.
Oh, I'm familiar with its work.
It's a health farm place. And it is, I mean, it's very glamorous. I met Anthea Turner in the shop.
A lot of celebs go there.
Yeah.
And Keith Vaz, the MP.
Well, there was what I thought
You're not selling it.
Keith Vaz.
I thought there was some sort of earthquake or tremor. I felt this terrible sort of vibration in my lower abdomen. And I thought, oh no. It was Frank Bruno talking to the dinner lady. The deepest voice. Oh, man. But, so they're all there anyway. And I had this exfoliation, when they get all the...
oh, I know.
I was rubbed over with
Is it called sloughing?
I don't know what it's...
Slough dead
yes,
skin.
It is.
Do you slough dead skin?
Do you slough
Or, A.A. Gill has field ploughing.
Enough now. I'm starting to feel sorry for A.A. Gill. Can you believe that? So, they basically rub you over with very rough.
Very good feel. So you've got a good skin anyway, Frank.
I think there was 8 people, each holding half a house brick. And they went over me, and I was so, honestly, I was so smooth after. Now, you might not know this, Laura, but when I relax in the evenings, I often just wear a pyjama jacket. And on a leather look sofa, I couldn't get any purchase. I was off. I was on the floor more
Like
than
an
I was.
ice rink.
Yeah, and even it's got quite heavy piping around the edge of the cushions, but it was just like a speed bump. I just went straight over. So as it's this, I've never been so smooth in my life. So that was nice, but that I don't know if that was actually a massage. I don't know if you call it a
When
massage.
I was on my honeymoon, we paid. When I was
Hold
on my
on.
honeymoon,
Oh,
when
dear. Where's this going?
when we were on our honeymoon, we paid for a part of our package in our lovely hotel was they did this massage where you're together. It was in Thailand.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it was
A
lovely
duo, yeah.
outside under some shade. But when we went in, the woman came up and said, "Put these on." So we were not changed, and she gave us these two little pants.
Oh,
We're
dear.
about. Made of the sort of tights material, but about, I'd say, 20 denier. So you put them on.
20 denier.
So it's not
quite
opaque.
thick.
Not
is it?
opaque.
No, that's-
No.
No.
So you put them on, and also tie sizes.
no, that's thin,
When they
Frank.
say when they say one size fits all in Thailand, they mean one size fits all tie size. So we're quite a lot bigger than that. I put them on, and I suddenly realised that I couldn't look at either of us, especially not my husband, because it was just inappropriate.
So they're see-through, tiny,
no,
tiny,
they're not.
tiny.
They're not see-through, but they're not opaque.
Okay,
You
so
would
there
need
was-
you'd wear a long T-shirt over them if you were
Think
going to
sort
go
of
out.
nurses' tights.
Okay.
And so then we had to walk in and it was the most it was the least honeymoon. It was awful, and I couldn't stop laughing for the entire time because I just kept picturing my husband coming out of the cubicle wearing these, which would get him on a list if you were in any other. If there were children in that hotel, you'd be on a list if
Yeah.
you wore those. Out.
Yeah.
And so he was having a massage while I was just laughing to myself with a woman. Who kept whispering in a very relaxing tone all the time.
What, just to your husband?
No, to me.
Oh,
Because we had
okay.
one massage. He was having a.
So he was on an adjoining table.
Yeah, he was having a different type of massage, and I was having whatever. You had to pick a massage from the massage menu, and then I just couldn't relax because it was so ridiculous that we'd had to wear these silly.
And did you have,
pants.
was there a face hole?
Yeah, it was one of those massage tables.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, see, I don't think we're selling massage very well here. I find it... I had deep tissue in Korea.
Oh,
I
dear.
was bruised.
Yeah, it's meant to hurt though. Isn't it? 'Cause you're
Actually
ripping,
bruised
you're
after.
ripping
I
on
mean,
muscles.
I was like I'd been pinched at school. You know, when the bullies used to pinch you, and I was like that after. I'm not paying for that kind of...
But if you see bullying therefore as a free massage, isn't that a nice way of justifying
Yeah,
it?
the dead leg massage.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the idea of the bullying massage. You go in and one Thai man kneels down behind you and the other one pushes you over.
And then wedges you.
Yeah. Well, that'd be all right. I think I could take a 20 denier.
Absolute Radio with Frank Skinner.